How is it that every single day I get success story after success story after success story, getting people's exes back, when every time you talk to your ex, it just seems like you can't get anywhere? What's the difference? What's the magic pill? If you don't know me, my name's Coach Benny. All I do is basically get people their exes back every single day. That's my only job, and I do very well. And I'll throw a little stat at you, and this is totally legit, and you can go follow up on this. But every single time I go live, I get anywhere between 3 and 5 people popping on, sharing their success story, and then I screenshot that. And I literally have hundreds of these things in my Instagram highlights. Now, apparently, I'm not very successful at not breaking my shoulder. Had a little one-wheel accident last night. But aside from that, I'm good at what I do. Now, why am I bragging? It's because you're having all these problems, right? You're trying to talk to your ex, like talk out the problems, trying to get them to reconsider, maybe writing them a letter, showing up unannounced at their job, trying to get their friends and family to put in a good word for you. You have some kind of homegrown plan as to something to do or say from here, which you kind of already know in the back of your mind isn't going to work anyway because everything else you've tried doesn't work. And yet here's somebody on the internet with a fucking shoulder sling that's claiming to like do this like a hot knife through butter. So the biggest difference is this critical understanding of attraction. So it's not like you're some idiot with attraction, right? You got your ex to begin with. And in the dating world, we naturally do everything right when we're not really hooked on somebody, And when you first met your ex, you probably were talking to multiple people. It probably wasn't critical for you whether it worked out or not. And, from that space of being able to take it or leave it, you guys mutually had fun together and then over time built a connection and the relationship worked out. The problem is when feelings come into play. If you had the same feelings for your ex on day one when you first met them as you do right now, you never would have got them to begin with. And that's why it's really hard to get people that you're really, really into, because you act so stupid when you really, really want somebody. And that's the problem that you're facing now. It's not like getting a 10 out of 10 is any harder than like a 7 out of 10. No, the reason why it's harder is because of the way that you treat them. And that's the exact same problem that you're facing when you're going after your ex. So I'm a dating coach by trade. I'm not a therapist or anything like that. And so as somebody whose job it was to connect single guys with women, and I learned this because I had a hard time with that growing up. So I had to solve this for myself, and I turned around and shared it with other people. I know very intimately at a micro level what works to bring somebody in, to attract them, in other words. And this is not the type of shit that your therapist is telling you to do. They're telling you to communicate it out. Well, if communication was going to work, your ex wouldn't have left you to begin with. That ain't going to work. You have to do an alternate plan. You have to go back to the roots of how you got them to begin with. So long story short, as you start to focus on attraction instead of communication with your ex, you're going to notice that things start to turn around in your favor. But you can't just go in not knowing what you're doing. You're going to have to know the ground rules. And I can teach this to you if you click into my profile and click this link right up here. And when you go in there, you can either set up a one-on-one call with me or set up a free 10-minute call with my right-hand man and have a discussion about jumping into a longer-term coaching program where we can work together closely and get your ex back.